exclusive interview with Fox Sports. Kevin Durant opened up and talked about that thin-skinned label from talk on social media he's receiving. He said, quote, "It's not just a me thing, like there are a lot of players amongst a lot of sports that interact with their people on Twitter, Instagram, socials, and I don't hear the sensitive rep about them." KD listed LeBron, Draymond Green, Damian Lillard, 3 athletes active on social media who don't get the same reps as he does. Shannon, do you think KD has a point here?
Well, I think the thing is that KD responds a little bit more than they do. I think because KD is fact-checking everything. KD is his own official fact check. And plus the fact that I think KD said that he has burner phones so he can respond anonymously. And I think the thing is that what KD understands is that you can't, and I like to engage with my fans also. Sometimes they get disrespectful, and I think they forget that I'm an out-of-work comedian. So I have to, I check them a little sometimes, Skip. But I think KD has to understand sometimes a fire can only go if it has oxygen. Yeah. And sometimes he gives it oxygen by responding to it. Sometimes I look and see it's like, ooh, I want to get you so bad, but I'm going to let you slide. Yeah. And so I think sometimes that's what KD needs to do. KD needs to let some things slide. But Skip, in talking to him, he's very engaging. He has a lot to say. He wants to say it. Yep. And I can see him, like when he's with his friends, kind of being like the life. He's not. People, I think the thing is, people might think he's like reserved, but in having a conversation with him that night at the hotel when we were in, actually it was the night after he had gotten traded. He's very engaging in Phoenix. Yes. He has a lot to say. Oh, does he? He really does. And I think the thing is, he really likes engaging with fans. He if they keep it respectful, I could see him doing Q&As and, okay, I got 5 minutes to kill here. Ask me a question. Yeah. But I think it burns him or rubs him that he has this perception. And I think it has a lot to do with it. Maybe it was, I don't remember that much, but I think it had a lot to do with him going to Golden State. Yeah. And so people, say that's the weak sauce move, and they had a lot to say about it. Yeah. And say, well, this or that. And they tried to choose up sides and pit him against Russ. And he wants to set the record straight about everything. Yep. And I just think, KD, you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to please everybody. You can average 40, 10, and 8. And somebody's going to find fault with something that you did. Yeah. So you can't please everybody. But I think the fact is, Skip, that he really wants to, he just wants to make sure that I didn't say that. I didn't do that. That's not how it happened. And he wants to correct every single thing, every single punctuation about anything that might have KD in that sentence. Yeah. And so I think that's where it's coming from. But I just think the thing is, the difference between him and some of the guys that he mentioned is they don't seem, and I know he doesn't respond to everything, Skip, I'm going a little, but he responds a lot more than what they do. But he's saying that even though they respond, you never label them as sensitive. And every time that I do respond, although I don't respond to every single thing, you label me sensitive. And why is that? Or thin-skinned. Okay. You started it, KD. He started it.
I did start it. But I have been his biggest defender and biggest supporter from day one.
You can't be a defender and say the man thin-skinned and sensitive, the most thin-skinned, sensitive superstar you've ever seen.
Ever, and it ain't even close. Sometimes I think you get oversensitive on social media, but you ain't in this guy's league. Look, it all started for me when I was publicly on television defending KD against Russ. Little Russ is coming out of nowhere, attempting more shots per game than Kevin bleeping Durant. And I had the audacity to defend Kevin, and he had the temerity to then fire back and criticize me. I don't know SH about basketball, and defend his little teammate, little brother Russ, whom he soon left in favor of going to Golden State because he had to get out from under Russ as his primary decision maker and decided he'd never win a championship with Russ as his point guard. So I think I was proven right on that. I think I'll be proven right because I just picked Kevin to lead the Suns to the championship this year. But here we go, psychoanalyzing Kevin again. I love to psychoanalyze him because I think he loves for us to discuss his sensitivity or oversensitivity. I have never seen anything like Kevin Durant because, remember, he has been caught with burner accounts on Twitter so that he can anonymously fight back. He's Kevin bleeping Durant. You need burner accounts? It's beyond comprehension to me.
Right.
Shannon, it's beyond comprehension to me because I find Twitter to be so misleading, so not representative of what really the mindset is out there or the point of view out there. It can just be one nobody that you turn into a somebody by responding to the nobody and validating him and putting him on the Twitter map because you responded to him. Who cares about that nobody? And why should you turn him into a somebody? Because his opinion shouldn't matter to you, but it does. It cuts deep into Kevin enough that he's going to lash back at somebody on Twitter. Again, a certain amount of it, it's fine, but he lumps LeBron in there on social. LeBron doesn't fire back at people on social. No. I mean, I've never seen him do that. No. He sets the tone. He'll set the tone in a big sociological discussion or a race discussion. That's what LeBron does. He uses Twitter or whatever platform. He uses it the way you should use it if you're LeBron bleeping James. Okay, here's what Kevin needs. He constantly needs to reset the chip on his own shoulder. He needs to convince himself they hate me. They're saying this about me, that about me. I'm going to show them. But here's the bottom line, the takeaway of all this. Usually, when you get upset with two people on Twitter, as a sports performer, you go out and you get over anxious and over urgent and you try too hard to, oh God, I'm going to show them. Mm-hmm. Kevin, he goes out on the basketball floor and turns into somebody else who is above it all. And he gets even by playing completely within himself, playing as efficiently, as poised a playoff basketball as I've ever seen before. Because do you ever see him look like he's playing angry to you? No. He just goes out and plays Kevin Durant basketball, and it is extremely high level. So whatever's happening on social never impacts his performance. It never undercuts his performance on the basketball court. Yeah. I've told you, I've worked with people in the past who just got destroyed by Twitter because in the commercial breaks, they're reading Twitter and one comment, and they can't get it out of their head, and it starts to undercut their performance on television. But it doesn't with Kevin.
No, I think the thing is, Skip, is that for him, he just, and it's hard, Skip, when people, it's like when somebody says something and you know it's not true.
Okay.
And it's like, bro, then somebody will retweet it, what they said, knowing it, and it just keeps going and going. And then you're like, man, should I shut this down? And Kevin's like, nah, bro, I'm not gonna let y'all just keep putting this foolishness out there.
Like false narratives.
Right. Skip, because he tweeted one time, somebody tweeted, said, man, I respect the hell out of you. Yeah. But give me one legitimate reason for leaving OKC other than getting a championship. Skip, he was too honest in this. You know what he said? He said he didn't like the organization or playing for Billy Donovan. His roster wasn't that good. It was just him and Russ. He said,
okay.
I think that was the one you should have went for the Roberta account. You can't say that. And then he says, imagine taking Russ off that team. See how bad they were? KD can't win a championship with those cats.
Okay. I got it. but Kevin keeps writing checks he has to cash.
Yes.
And he's pretty good at cashing. Yeah. He didn't cash against Boston. Right. I give you that. Right. But in general, he's been really good in the postseason.
Yeah, he's been really good every season.
Every season, every way.
Kevin Durant, he's that good.
Okay, but he goes on and on about how it's not just a me thing, that a lot of players fire back on Twitter, but nobody fires back as much as he does, or to the level that he fires back. Nobody seems to take that nobody on Twitter as seriously. Kevin takes them dead seriously.
Oh, yeah, but the thing is, the one thing I like about Kevin Durant, Skip, he's an equal opportunist.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you're Charles Barkley, you're Kendrick Perkins, or you're somebody an hour on your mom's couch. He will let you have it. Nobody is too high or too low.
No, that's true.
He's not biting his tongue. Now, he let some stuff slide, but he's like, hold on. You keep saying, I heard you say that the other night, and I thought that was the one time you going to say it the other night, you going to let it go.
Yeah.
You keep saying it again. So in other words, what you're trying to do is that you keep saying it, hoping somebody else picks it up, and that's going to be the narrative you paint of me. Yep. And so boom, he's like, no, I'm going to shut that down.
Okay.
And the thing is like, you might have him on. You remember that time at TNT? They had him on, and Charles had kept saying something, and he was up there like, all one-word answers.
The first one was the classic.
And then they ask him.
Because Charles tried to ask him a nice question. It went on for a while, and then Kevin's, yeah.
Yeah. And they just asked him the other day. They said, "Well, if you could sit down with Charles,"
yeah.
He said,
no.
"I ain't sitting down with Charles."
No.
So that's how he is, Skip. It's not like it's just some Joe Smo. He'll let anybody have it if he feels that you're trying to create a narrative about him.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Okay. In the end, I don't think anybody works harder at his craft than Kevin Durant. I don't.
No.
Again, LeBron gets a lot of credit that he deserves for how he works on his body. I think Kevin puts in just as hard a work, but he doesn't talk about it or flaunt it.
Right.
He just goes out and performs.
Right.
Well, I respect that.
Well, he has a different type of game than what LeBron does. LeBron game is really taxing. Do I think Kevin Durant... Skip, you can't be what he is without working on your game. The amount of time, how many jump shots and how many shots off the glass and how many threes and how many this do you think this man practices a day in the offseason?
Yeah.
You don't stay at this level.
You don't.
I mean, we don't normally see guys. These guys are playing great longer than the predecessors.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because they work at the craft, they take the nutrition is serious, the training, they hire Skip, when Jordan probably was the only one that had a trainer year-round. Okay. Now, all of these, Skip, all the top 100 guys.
Through with Tim Grover.
Yeah.
It was a first.
Skip,
I agree.
I guarantee you, the top 100 guys have a trainer full-time.
Several people on their
The top 200 guys have a chef.
Okay. Last quick point, since you brought up Jordan. In his day, if there had been social media, I promise you Jordan would respond to nobody. Like, he just wouldn't have done it. It's not how he was built. He's above all that.
No, he responded in person. He go Skip. I think you should shortchange Jordan because Jordan hears everything. He hears every single.
He doesn't care about what the guy on his mom's couch in Iowa thinks. He does not care.
Oh, he cares, Skip.
He's Michael.
I know he's Michael Jordan, but don't you think for a second when they talk about guys who do this, this, and this, he looks at himself like, look, I'm a stand-alone. I'm by myself. Nobody, I play in this playpen by myself. Now, if y'all want to put Kareem and LeBron and Magic and this one and that one in a playpen, that's fine. Yeah. But over here, that's it. Skip, he's wired like that. He wants to be the best at everything. And he feels if you put, and he's like, he'll never say it. He's never going to say that public. You know, it's too hard. We played in different eras. No. You know, I didn't play against Oscar and I didn't play against Russell and Chamberlain. And they didn't play.
No.
But you know his mindset. You know how he thinks.
I do.
KD is definitely one who keeps receipts, guys. No doubt about it. We'll
keep tweeting, KD.
MJ ever opens up about that.
KD for the people.
All right, guys. Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook? Who do you think's had the better NBA career? I want to get your take on this on the other side of this break.